listening to the Paracasual Destiny podcast. Here we are with episode 67, In the Age of Lightfall. Greetings, fellow Guardians, and welcome to episode 67 of the Paracasual Destiny podcast. I'm Soultime, and I'd like to thank you for joining us here live on YouTube or in the afterlife on the podcast platform of your choice. I'm joined by Sallybug, Romance Girl, and Green Stego, and we're hoping that maybe Richard or Pelham might hop in, even just for a little while, for a bit of conversation with us. We were just talking pre-game show here, and saying how what we were talking about should be part of our conversation today, because we were sort of reminiscing a little bit about the days of yore, the old style video games, and how Destiny sort of satisfies a lot of itches, and that's why we've stuck with it all this time and continue to stick with it. It's our favorite game. Would everybody agree with that statement, that opening line?
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Absolutely.
It's still our game, isn't it? After all these years, what the hell?
exactly.
You must be doing something
There's a
right.
secret sauce. I mean, even when it's bad, it's good, right? It's one of those things.
The secret sauce is the loot.
Oh, no, there he is.
Well, for some.
Welcome to the conversation, Richard. We were hoping you would pop in.
I have not gotten that much loot, and I'm still having a ball.
I'm getting too much loot. That's my problem.
Oh no, this isn't.
I'm at
This is
600
not
out of
for the loot.
600 again.
This one's for the
my
strand.
Okay.
I think there is one complaint, and that is I don't know how I'm ever going to use any other subclass ever again.
Right. It's pretty amazing.
It's hard to go back, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's still so new, it's fresh, and that's kind of the fun thing about it, is that, you know, we haven't had a new.
It's also
subclass
effective. It's
in
very
a while,
effective
right? Since,
at achieving
we haven't
goals.
had a new one since Beyond Light. That was like what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
There's just something so fun about it, though. It's just really sparking so much.
It's
joy.
definitely Bungie magic. They
Yes.
captured lightning in a bottle again.
Expected to have a lot of issues with it, and during the campaign, I would say I kind of did. Like before the subclass was like officially unlocked.
Yeah, I
was
had
like,
some bugs on the temporary subclass.
Yeah, I can't do this. I couldn't really do the grapple thing when I was like trying to avoid that stupid rotating walls one.
Yeah.
And it was a hot mess. It was,
Well, A, you weren't
I
used
died
to
a
it,
lot.
and B, we didn't have loadouts for it yet, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I think that probably could have been refined a little, but I
Sure.
was always like, it's the temporary version, and that's probably why this is happening.
Yeah.
Because this is like a temporary version of the subclass.
And again,
and I'm glad that I was right.
My feedback for that would be, I would have preferred, and other people may vary from this point of view, but I would have preferred to be like two or three or four missions into the campaign and say, oh, we've kind of discovered, we've touched upon this, and now we're going to go on this side quest to learn strand, and had it be just like a 1 or 2 mission side quest where we unlock it, and then, you know, have the opportunity to use it in its full glory.
I agree that it could have been handled differently. I'm sure there are internal reasons why they did it the way they did, but
well, I think they were hoping, right? They just wanted to introduce it to everybody. They wanted everybody to have their hands on it, and I totally understand that, right? But
everyone would have had their hands on it either way if they had introduced it as a side quest. So.
If they did it as a side quest, it was almost required. You were required to go and do it before coming back. Yes, I mean, it's the way I would have done it.
I'm curious of what Richard's take is on that. How they introduced Strand. How did you feel about that, Richard?
I mean, personally, it just felt like, how it was with Stasis, really. They gave us, bit of bits and pieces throughout the campaign of that one.
Yep.
That's true.
I was just more excited to unlock it, so I was just more
Definitely
excited to finish
mirrored
the
Beyond
campaign and get
Light.
it.
I didn't think of
Yes.
it that way, but it felt different from the way that it was rolled out in Beyond Light. The way Stasis was rolled out, for some reason, it just felt different. For me,
Yeah.
Stego, how about you?
I kind of a little bit of a mixture of everybody's feelings. You know, I think that interweaving the psychic threads of fate into the plot of stopping Callus and it drawing us and our ghost specifically to the Veil.
Oh, spoilers. No, just kidding.
It's way too late. We're
That's
way
2
past
weeks.
that one.
Come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's if I say the Veil and y'all don't know what I'm talking about,
Okay.
Well, people who
Stop
played
listening
it
to
don't
this
know what you're
podcast.
talking about, too.
Yeah, well, does
so.
anybody really know what the Veil is? Come on.
Well, that's the
Okay,
point.
I think there were benefits of it being closely interwoven with the Neomuna plot.
Yeah, I think that for me the benefits outweighed the cons. The biggest con I think was definitely Romance Girl's aspect for the Spider-Man dive, where you suspend everybody around you after you slam to the ground.
That shit is
Bugging
so
out.
fun.
Yeah,
It's so fun, but for
in
some
the
reason,
temporary version, I would lose it, so I would go into a group of enemies, but it wouldn't.
it's
do
like
it.
it's just not
Oh,
working.
no.
We kind of narrowed it down. We think that it happened after she
After I would
died,
die,
and then I revived her. Then
I would still have Strand, but I wouldn't have all the abilities. Still.
yeah, she just wouldn't have that specific ability.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that,
I mean,
that's so far ago. I'm a
It was
different
hard
person.
to. It was hard to pull off. I didn't, and I've heard from a couple of camps. For me, I didn't enjoy because like I went in there, saw, especially since I'm not that great a player. I will absolutely 100%, admit to it. And so I go in with a very specific survivability build. And then it's like, no, your build doesn't matter anymore because we want you to play with this. It's like I can't survive with this, and like I said, I just
most of
died
it
a
was
lot.
Optional.
Yeah.
Like for the Red Room.
Exactly, I was just thinking that.
Daniel changed to his solar subclass, and that's the
That's
run
exactly
that
what we ended up doing.
And that's what we
So,
ended up doing
I
a few
think that-
times. So
So I think that realizing that it was optional was helpful too.
yeah, true.
I also I ran
once
into
I
a-
realized
I still used it, but because I loved it.
Yeah, I also ran
I
into
love
a bug
Strand.
myself with that temporariness of it, but my bug was beneficial because I was using my solar subclass with Laurely Splendor, which was still working when I
When you were on
switched over to
Strand.
my strand.
Oh,
When I looked within and
interesting.
activated the strand, I still would lose my class ability when I got to low health, and then I would make a sunspot at my feet, and I would get restoration.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting. That
yeah.
sounds buggy,
Yeah, it's a little buggy.
but to your advantage.
Yeah, no, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Except for when I was like,
I mean,
all right, I'm
I'm
gonna
sure
suspend
it's
this
like,
guy, and I was
know-
like, wait, I'm alive instead of.
And the Callus room was very difficult for us. We had to take a break and watch YouTube videos, and then after the YouTube videos, I was like, I still don't know what I'm doing.
I am not gonna
But
lie.
then-
When I first did Callus on my tie-in, I kind of struggled with it. So
I'm so glad to
Yeah.
hear that from everybody else because
Yeah,
we're
it
listening
was
to
a struggle.
podcasts where it's like, I think I died once, but the Callus room wasn't really that challenging. And I'm like, what the
What?
hell? It took us like
No,
2
it-
hours to finish.
Yeah,
you're
no,
if
It
you're
was
going in,
definitely challenging.
if you're going in blind on Legendary, it
I
was.
ran it solo,
I ended
but
up combining.
doing it solo felt harder than doing it with a group. I don't know what it was with that. I don't know. if it was like,
no, we definitely used both of us during that because in the inner room, I don't think it was like all Daniel was getting chased the entire time, and I was the one doing DPS.
There you go.
Where I was like, oh my god, I don't know how we're gonna get through this. I can't turn around and hit. Like I would
And
put
I was like,
some.
I'm done. He's almost done.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
just
I was-
keep running.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, he's already at like a
beating him.
third of his health. Oh my
Yeah.
god, what did you do, Cassia? And she's like, all right, I'm popping super. Just keep him occupied. And then he died.
Yeah.
I think that's what we did. Like Neil and I finally made it to that inner room.
I think it took me a couple of
both-
loadouts to find the right one.
We both
Right.
had our
Us
The
too.
loadout
saved
that
our
also did it.
super.
Yeah.
We both popped it at the same time. It was just like he just went right down. But
we also had the YouTube helped. I like kind of melded. Astrocross said he used chill clip on the tormentors, and then would just like kind of leave them, just keep freezing them.
Oh,
Is,
interesting.
that
Okay.
strategy. And
I
then I
didn't see
also
that.
put on
Launcher.
yeah, and I
I used
also
my
put on
strand on
Monarch,
concept quest
and
on
that
them.
was doing a lot of work.
we had heard about that, and I think I convinced Sultime to put on Wish Ender because that was his exotic of choice, like leading into Lightfall. So I knew he was like really good with it, and I was like, put on Wish Ender and take down those shoulder pads of the tormentors. And once we got that down, like he could get them down in like 2 shots for each shoulder. And like once we were able to do that,
well, maybe
and
more
we
than
did.
2.
We went to YouTube and said, once you can get down the tormentor shoulder pads, then you can like just take it, like use
Get his
your
crit
machine
spot.
gun.
Yeah, we did dueling machine guns to take them out, and that seemed to work really well.
And then the other thing
and I had the volatile rounds with my machine gun too. That was
nice.
Yep, I had the volatile rounds, and the other
fun.
thing that helped me, which was, and I don't know which YouTuber I'd like to give them credit, but I don't remember. But for the hunter, I put on Wormhusk Crown, and that was really crucial for me to stay alive. Like, it really helped me because it would give back that chunk of health every time I got my class ability, like every time I dodged. And that was like just enough to keep me alive, like during crucial times. So that, and of course, Wither Horde.
I thought about Witherhoard myself, to be honest, but I think my loadout I ended up going with was Wendigo, Osteostriga, and then Forbearance.
We used
I saw a lot of
Osteostriga
people
for
use
a
it.
good portion. We just needed to get Callus down. Le Monarch
Right.
was really good because if I ran out of heavy, and I was mostly using my special for just freezing random targets.
Yeah.
But
Also, a
Le
key
Monarch
thing
just
that we're
does
not
much
really
for a primary damage weapon. It actually does really good DPS.
a key aspect of us finally getting through to that beating the first phase of that final boss was there was this Sons of Lubre attack.
Oh right,
Oh, I
that
hated
kept
that.
wiping us.
And for some
Us
reason, like the
too.
run that we did that we accomplished, that we beat him,
Yeah,
he just
it's
didn't do it.
I think it's because we threw our supers right away and we decided to just go full DPS, and we actually like bypassed that.
Anyone
Right,
else
we
like
were having a hard
doing
time with
that.
that one as
And be like,
well.
I think it's first phase. I was like, yeah.
What was
That's
the
it, he's fucking
trigger
dead.
for it? Like what? Like we couldn't
I think
figure
it
out
was
what
if you stopped doing damage. That's the only thing I can figure out.
Yeah.
Much
Like
time
if you
on a
spend too much
tormentor or
time
on
the
Az,
ads,
then he
For a
would.
while, I thought it was like if you didn't shoot, like you had to shoot all the worms that he'd like throw at you, like with this big gun.
yeah, I don't know.
That could be it. But anyway, the point
No,
is
that wasn't it.
the one that we did it, the one that we finally vanquished our foe was when he just.
I will
didn't
also say
do
shout
that.
out to the Silk Strike bug that they have since fixed, where my super was doing double damage.
Yeah. That was helpful. I will say this, like if you look at all of our loadouts, you guys had Le Monarch, which is damage over time. Ghost used Osteostringa, which is damage over time, and I used Wither Horde, which is damage over time.
Yeah.
So clearly that was like a key element too. Like just because that way you're keeping doing damage. And that's what I would do is like I would hit Callus with Wither Horde and then start poking. I think I had a scout rifle on and poke at this either scout
I
rifle
had
or
Wither Horde on
bow.
before, but I needed to switch to that chill clip Riptide, and that was like such a game changer.
That was
like,
really helpful. Yeah.
Freeze the tormentors instead of taking, and I'll let Daniel take them out after they're frozen.
Yeah.
Well, that's yeah. Gosh, I have a great is it Deliverance, the fusion rifle? Primary fusion rifle, or in the first slot?
Stasis.
Yeah.
And that one has
Stasis
chill
fusion
for
rifle.
me, and that has chill clip.
Yes,
and I was
chill
like,
clip
man,
is so
I didn't
key
think
in
of
this
that.
in this new tormentor wyvern world.
Yeah,
Right.
some of the tormentors are like bosses, and some of the tormentors
But
are
now I'm
mages.
just having so much fun suspending them. Now that I've learned, now that
Yes,
I've like unlocked strand and I know how to like use my dodge to like suspend them. And then
What were
another
your
shout out.
feeling about the narrative?
Mhm.
Le narratif. The narrative. I'll start. I think
Go ahead.
a lot of the criticism of the narrative is valid,
It's like a ball.
and it does feel just like it's not that it's bad. It's just that it's not nearly as good as the Witch Queen pace, and it does feel like kind of they schlocked it together to extend another year out to final shape, like as the theory goes. It does feel like that for me, but it's in the same respect. I just don't think it's nearly as a big a deal as a lot of people are making it out to be.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Richard, it sounded like you have an emotional response to people who have criticisms of this story. Can you elaborate on the thoughts you were about to share?
I'm saying I thought the campaign story was great. Everything about it, I thought it was great. I mean, it's not Witch Queen great,
Right.
but I thought it was great. And then people, wondering all these questions and stuff. I'm like, they're just going to reveal them over the seasons because the 4 seasons are part of Lightfall story.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, I would say like part of it is expectations, right? That's always like you're going to be if you're disappointed, it means you had some expectations.
And the disappointment I
one
had was
place to the
Crucible
other.
with the invisible players.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Valid.
that's a bug.
Facts.
But as far as the, for me, it just it didn't hit like it like Witch Queen did, and I understand that they're and they've explained that in TWABs after the fact, that they're, and maybe this is something that they're experimenting with, is to release the narrative over time and release information over time, and I think that's great, but we didn't really know that going
slow because final shape being the final Light and Dark saga thing.
Right.
So I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah. So we didn't really know that. And I think if I knew ahead of time that there was going to be more information of this main storyline, because up till now, the seasons have,
honestly. But I guess it's fine to have a difference of expectations and opinion.
Yeah. And
I'm excited for next season.
I think
for me the narrative just didn't hit. I mean, it wasn't.
I'd say I liked the narrative probably better than Witch Queen, but I think that's probably just because I enjoyed being in Neomuna so much.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just the environments were really beautiful. I mean, as far as the gameplay goes and the design of each mission, I feel like I enjoyed those as much. Most of them, like there's like 1 or 2 that were memorable, that like were a real struggle.
I honestly
don't
really remember what happened in the campaign of Witch Queen, if I'm going to be completely honest.
Right.
I remember that we killed Savathun at the end, and I remember that we do like a lot of back and forth with Finch. I think that like Finch is more of a side character to me than Nimbus and Rohan were, so I don't know.
I also don't understand the hate with Nimbus, man.
Yeah.
Well,
I agree.
My problem with Nimbus is just like the dialogue.
He's not a broomstick.
It's a little bit like this is just my personal taste. Feels like it's just not. It's trying to be funny, but it's not funny. It's like Cade wannabe is what came to my mind on a lot of his dialogue. I like the character and I love the Cloud Striders, but some of the dialogue was just like, really?
I think it's really hard to write an optimistic character without getting a large portion of people to just say, "Oh, that's corny. Oh, I don't like that." So I don't.
Yeah.
I think it's extremely difficult to write an optimistic character. I think that it's I don't know. I think like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I think Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't
honestly,
think it's meant to be taken that
and
that seriously. I don't even think it's supposed to be that funny. I think it's supposed to be like you roll your eyes at them.
yeah, maybe you're right, because I certainly
maybe.
did do that. And honestly, some of Osiris's lines were like, and Sally Bug can attest to this. Like during one of the missions, I just went, "Shut up!" He was so whiny.
Yeah.
Yes,
no.
we got that too.
It really, yeah, it was like, yes, we understand you're traumatized, but
But it's
They're-
like
when
it's
it-
not.
it was
But it's
like
part of the
yeah,
fun
they
of the
were laying him on
game.
thick.
It's
Yeah.
part of the fun. Like, what are they doing with his character? It's like weird. And then just the
when he started shouting, I was just like, fine, do it yourself.
right.
See how far you get.
See, I have fun with it, and then people get on Reddit and say they want their money back because of it. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's ridiculous.
It's silly.
Yeah, I mean, and
It's
I
just
think
dialogue in a video game. Get over it.
I would have, here are some things that I would have liked. I would have liked the character of Rohan to be a little more developed, for us to have a little more interaction with him before the sacrifice. Because I really enjoyed that conversation that he had with Osiris, that cutscene where he had the conversation with Osiris. And so I felt like that was going somewhere. And so, I mean, and maybe it's just because I really like the character. I wanted that character to be around a little more. I mean, you kind of knew pretty, like it
Yeah, his
like the
imminent death was
foreshadowing
thinly
the
veiled.
writing was on the wall that he was.
They were pretty thick
he
about
was-
that.
They prepped you
going.
for it.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I would have liked him to be around a little more in terms of, I don't know, just
And they
maybe
had
having that sacrifice
with Keitel
be a little
also needing
different.
to be part of the plot. It was hard for them to juggle so many characters, I think.
Right, that's a lot. Yeah,
True,
absolutely.
that's a good point. Yeah.
So, but and like I said, part of that is just like I had, I liked the character. I liked the interactions with that character, and so I would have liked him to or them to have been around longer, but that's all right. It's so.
How
So
about
there was-
how
so
about
there was
Neo
that,
Muna
and-
itself?
I will also say it was probably a different experience, like playing it. We took like a week to play the campaign.
Mm.
It was like a mission a night. So I think that that helped this absorption of the story for me. I think I would
Yeah.
have probably seen a lot more problems with pacing and stuff if I did it.
If you rush through
Yeah,
it.
Jerome bought Lightfall when he took me into a campaign with him. I was like, you little shit, why you getting me to help you with this stuff? He always does it. And then he wanders off, so I do it. So I was like, fine, you can take out this guy's what guy? He walks up to the door, Tormentor spawns and kills him. I was like, that's what you get.
Tormentors are
Stand
scary.
right
They're
here.
Scary.
Yeah, no, the sound.
I will say I like how scary the tormentors were.
I like the
audio cue.
tormentors
Love the
better than the
tormentors.
Lucent Hive. I will say that for
Yeah.
sure. In terms of the new of a new foe,
Yeah.
like the
I like
first time
tormentors,
they
but the
like
moment
pick
I
you
could
up and
not-
suppress you, and then just like kill you, pick you up, and then you just drop to the ground. It's
Yeah.
like, man, yeah, that like what are we gonna do? And I think before Sultime and I even figured out the whole that you have to take the shoulder pads down.
Yeah,
We had
like
the
a
strategy
medieval.
of one of us stayed high and the other one went down, so that there was always like someone like out of the tormentor's reach to be able to go and revive if we needed to.
Yeah, the first mission we were just running around in circles screaming.
Yep. No, and, that's,
Yeah.
and then until we died, and then we were like, okay,
We need
let's try this again. And then
There's got to be a strategy here. All in all, like I said, it's like the campaign itself, like the gameplay itself. I had so much fun. I struggled a lot with the rotating wall, and we figured that one out by one of us not doing strand. We started with me trying to stick with tether, and Sultime doing strand, and then we reverse that, and I did strand, because strand does a heck of a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And so
Especially the
I
Hunter
did
Super does.
the Hunter
hella
Super. And so
damage.
then I did
they
strand,
just,
and Soul
fixed a
Time.
bug on it, so
So
it does
Soul
less, but
Time
it's
would
still very
put
good.
up a well, and then I would do strand, and it would just like it was crazy.
Yeah, the melee
so,
was doing double damage, so it was very helpful for
yeah.
players
that-
like me doing the campaign
Yeah, that
on
was
Legendary.
I really liked the Horde mode one, where you had Nimbus helping, and you had to like put like a target down on those tanks, and then enemies just kept coming and coming, and then Keitel brought her troops in. It was just that whole, I thought that was just epic, and it just went on and on. I had a whole lot of fun with that one, with that mission.
Yes. Same.
So, and yeah, it's just like the confusion. It's like with the veil and the ghost, and it's like, what just happened? And like, what is this veil now? And I guess we're gonna find out.
Probably one of my favorite, like one of my just so memorable of environmental storytelling when we were going into that like underground laboratory.
Yeah, and you kept going down and down, and then just seeing,
and then seeing it, and like I was
so beautiful.
Some of the criticism, and so I wasn't expecting to see the veil in person with all the hate online being like, and they don't even tell us what the veil is, and I was like, we get to see the
veil. Right. You may not know we don't know the mysteries of it, but we got to see it.
I mean, there's mysteries abound.
Right.
So, I mean, not to belabor the point of the criticism of the narrative in Lightfall, but I saw a perspective that was valid. And I think, for veteran players, it should be no surprise that there's mystery and you don't know what the hell's going on in Destiny. It's Destiny. But somebody pointed out there was like, this is the biggest DLC ever in terms of number of players coming in. It was huge. 17% more than Witch Queen. So a lot of new people, and they made a point. It's like, it wasn't the best, putting the best foot forward for that. So I could see
as an introduction,
not a very good introduction, but great for us veteran players who are kind of like know the backdrop.
Honestly, there was a lot of disappointment with people with the new raid as well, saying, "Oh, it was only 2.5 hours long." I was like, "Shut up."
Well, I mean, honestly, didn't like, I had it playing in the background while I was at work. I couldn't really watch it.
I had it playing just for the emblems. I haven't watched it myself yet.
But I did watch. I was able to watch last night. Actually, watched a final boss fight with a content creator, and I was like, "Oh my god, the environments are like,
oh yeah,
fantastic,
pretty amazing.
That planet room.
I can't wait to go in there
and just like,
oh whoa, you guys are spoiling it. I haven't watched it yet.
100 million times.
Well, we're not giving any details.
You said planet, okay?
Oh, well, that answers my big question for you, Richard, was did you guys try the raid yet? On contest? Well, it's not on contest anymore, is it?
Logan's got... Yeah, it's still contest until like Sunday at 6, I think.
Oh, okay.
Logan's got a communication ban because someone reported it because of his Xbox Live name.
Well.
Oh, gosh.
Honestly, I just... Yeah.
But I'm not really interested in the contest, to be honest, because I don't think the emblem's worth it anyway.
I think that's a lot of. I mean, I know I'm gonna struggle even without contest.
I'd rather do it when I can just have fun. But apparently it's not mechanic heavy.
And I want to just be able to spend time in the environment and really enjoy it. It looks amazing.
It looks fantastic.
Super fun.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to.
I really like the environments.
I'm not looking forward to the jumping puzzle at all.
That's what Strand's for.
I'm hoping grapple and strand will help me immensely. It'd be nice to have something other than stompies.
You know that bit on the Amuna in like I think it's the middle area with the turbine that rotates around in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just stuck the grapple on that and just started spinning around it just for fun.
Oh my
I
gosh,
have to try
sounds
that.
like fun.
I really haven't explored with Strand like that yet.
Yeah, we were just that place, the little space in front of Nimbus. Daniel and I were just stranding around in a circle to those grapple points, just
Yeah.
seeing how long we could go.
Yeah,
It's
as
fun.
long as you
just
keep
so
an eye
much
on them, you
fun.
think you're going for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
The exotics are great though.
I love
So
grapple so much. It's actually so well executed.
I'm curious.
I'm loving the exotics. Like, you guys want to run through that Avalon one for the exotic glaive, not the stasis one, the other one? Let me know. That one's a pain in the ass.
We really want that.
I like the
That
reference,
void
but a lot
glaive?
of people was like, "Oh, they called it Avalon, but it's not a sword; it's a glaive." I was like, "Shut up." Just shut up.
How about speaking of going around Neomuna with your Strand? Thoughts on the new location, the environment itself?
Gorgeous.
Yeah, I think
So
it's fun. I do like the fact that the enemies are always above you, so it's just not like a drag. You can just go up and punch them.
Right. I love the what's it?
One thing I do not like about this season is them bringing that high battleground Mars for a Nightfall. I hate it.
Oh,
like
I
it.
haven't done that yet. Yeah, I
been
haven't done
divisive.
that.
You
Yeah.
go in,
That looks
you go on
hard.
hero, and I'm just getting 2 hit, and I'm like, what the heck
Yeah,
is this?
it looked.
Yeah.
I do like that they're trying something different. It
Yeah.
does seem like a unique challenge.
Yeah,
maybe.
but I want to
yeah.
go for Conqueror, and that's going to be the one blocking it.
What's the event
I'm
in
sure
Neomuna
strategies
called
will
that
get out there.
rotates?
I saw
The
up under
Vex
the booty
incursion
hill.
rotates. It rotates between the 3
Terminal
areas.
Overload?
Yeah. Terminal overload. That is fun.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah, we
that.
were
Yeah, I
having
get
a
that.
lot of fun farming that this morning.
That is fun.
Pelham's really? You wiped? Scrubs. Pelham's disappointed that the weapons for that are not craftable, like the Strand SMG, the Strand machine gun, and the shotgun. Are not craftable.
Yeah.
We
Well,
have so many craftables.
there's 8 weapons, 8 new Lightfall weapons, 5 of which are craftable, right? So
That sounds right. Yeah.
the 3 from.
Sounds right.
But there's a couple of them have to be in the raid because there's going to be some craftable raid weapons, right?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of raid weapons, which
They look
also
cool as hell, too.
So cool.
They look
so
cool,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, they knocked out the armor and the weapons this time.
I'm not gonna lie, that the Warlock chest piece threw me off. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
I think that's so cool.
I think it's
That
very
is
cool.
Very cool looking.
Very, very cool.
Because it's
Extra
like
arms.
it's brand new. It doesn't look like it's been in the game before. Same with the weapons.
That's
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah. Well, I think it's great that you can like you will be able to tell. Oh, that's the raid armor. Or
And I'm not really disappointed with say reskin weapons anyway. As long as they got new perks, I don't really care.
mhm.
Right. I think it's silly to like talk about the reskin problem. Like I don't. For me, I
There's too
don't
many
consider that a
weapons.
problem.
There's too many
I was
weapons
just-
in the
There's
game
too
as
many
it
weapons
is.
in the game as it
I
is.
wish we still had sunsetting. I looked at my vault and I said, why didn't they keep sunsetting? I need them to
Right.
tell me delete these weapons.
Mm.
Right.
only using the
You
new
need
stuff
data
anyway.
to come in and give your vault a vault cleaning.
Cassie,
Yeah,
I
but it
have
would
to
just be
say
nice if
though,
they just deleted half of them.
I have to say partly that's a you and me problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. We
It's
like
so
to
funny
hoard.
because, and I don't know if
I don't know
think
which ones to get rid of. I don't like
I
making a
think it
decision.
was.
Me too.
I think it was a Dado short, that he put out, where it's like so,
I was actually rooting for Dado to win
I
this time,
can't
to
be
be
there
honest.
to help everyone with their
Yeah.
vault, but
Me too.
here's me.
I was like, as long as Holograph
So-
don't win this time, we're all good.
Do you really need 5 versions of this guy? Like just like
I
him,
will
like
say I only
That was
keep
a
one
funny clip.
version of each thing, but the
I
game has
know,
gotten
that's the
so big that
thing.
it's not enough anymore.
Yeah, you can't
it's
just
not. There's
No.
so much in the
You
game.
have to like do
Too many
Can't-
things.
your favorite of
So-
that archetype with that
So
elemental
now there's
burn.
all these other new guns that are gorgeous, and
I know.
it's just like,
They're outclassing
now I have
the
to-
old ones, right?
yeah, but Now it's just like you really do have to say, okay, look at all of these older ones and which ones have I really.
I do like the new perks on weapons. That's definitely going to help me narrow down my vault even more.
I'm glad they were able to
Are there any
release
perks
strand
that people
with strand? It was
Yeah, I was
it
gonna
took
say,
a
are there
while to
any
get some stasis weapons.
Are there any perks that have stood out with anyone?
Oh, the
Hatchling one is kind of fun.
There's destabilizing rounds, which is awesome.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Envious assassin. Like if you're using like another weapon, the other weapons, it's basically like a better overflow.
Mm-hmm.
Now I do like Envious
Wow.
Assassin.
Envious
strand
assassin,
weapons, I think it's strand weapons can spawn hatchlings.
Yeah, the hatchling one
that's
is
not a
great.
new perk, but that's such a good fragment.
Yeah.
And then it'll stack
awesome.
with that hatchling perk. Oof.
Great weapon.
Yeah, I honestly
origin traits and
I
perks
can't leave
work wonders as
Neomuna.
well.
I'm like just using strand on Neomuna, and I'm like trying to we've just been farming all the things to do on Neomuna because I don't want to leave.
Yeah,
There's
I've got to
still
the
so
point
much
where it's
more to
like,
do.
you want to do this Nightfall, you got to use the search. No, I want to use strand. Go away.
I have
Right.
yet to get more than just the exotic armor that they gave you in the mission, in that one mission, and of course my what's it called, the stasis bow, Verglass.
So much fun.
Yes, yeah, those are the only two
I was
exotics
just
I've used so
Catalyst.
far. I don't have the winter bite quite yet. We still have to do one more of those activities, Sally Bud.
Yeah, we have a few
Winter
more
Boy got
of those
disabled for raises,
quests.
dungeons, and gambits, so don't try it.
We haven't done the quest for the sidearm either, which is supposed
Final
to be really
warning.
Yeah, we haven't unlocked all of strand yet. We're still farming strand.
good. Yeah, that we're kind of
I
in that
found
same.
another class is
We
like,
played a
already
lot
did
the
the
first
campaign
week
for it.
because we were on our break, and then back to work with a vengeance. So
Yeah.
we really haven't touched it.
I can say this: the
played a little bit
swarmers,
today.
which give you a boost to the threadlings on the warlock, are great. I love it.
There's a lot of
Roots.
fun builds on strand. It's
Yeah.
just
There's so many cool things.
I did my
explore.
first
So much
plunder
fun
the
to play.
booty strand build with radiant dance machines, which I literally
that's
hadn't
fun.
used at all. But you do a dodge.
Logan mentioned that because I think he used the
near-
same build.
You use a dodge near the enemies, and then it gives you like 2 more dodges, so then you can just do the slam attack and suspend everything around you. It's so much fun. It is so much fun.
Has anybody gotten
thought,
Vex Caliber yet?
Yeah.
I'm sure Ghost has. No, we
Yeah.
haven't done it yet, but
Nope.
I'm excited.
There's a lot of things
to.
I still
heard
can't
it's
do in this
hard.
game, but I don't know. I feel like there's less pinnacles this DLC than there is like compared to like the previous one.
But is there
Yeah,
more
I think
exotics
they're
to make up
backing
for
away
it?
from the power grind.
Oh yeah, but already.
I
Because
felt
there's a
that
lot
too,
there's
Kat. Yeah.
the power cap is a lot I feel like lower than it usually is on these activities. Like
I mean, getting to it, like being able to get to it.
Yeah, I still
Yeah,
can't do the
like,
weekly story mission because it's like
I think
it'd be 1830.
I think Salta
Ugh, that's
Greppo
so
posted that
hard.
he's done power grinding for the season.
Wow.
Well, that's Salta Greppo, though. Is that really any kind of
But
litmus?
still, for the entire season, like there's no more like activities that are that were because of the new power delta system. I think that
Yeah,
there's
and
less of
I was
reason
actually
to
kind of
grind out
shocked that
pinnacles.
some people
And
had
then there's
finished
no
the
change
legendary
there's no
campaign on
change
all
in
3
power.
characters. Like, wow.
There's no change in
Like, within a
power in the
few
next
days.
season. Next season, they're not upping the power grind, which
thank God.
for me as
Love it.
as a casual player,
Love it.
that's great.
Jump right
'cause then
in.
Yeah,
that's
it
great too.
does.
I'm happy with that because power grind is a pain.
Yeah.
On the
So you
topic
can just
of
do it at a more relaxed pace, and that's
I just want to
I
get rid of
prefer
it
that.
because I'm tired of infusion. I just think that it's like
Right.
homework at this point. It's not.
Just enjoy
for me,
the
I'm
game.
I
like,
will
don't
say
like-
this.
I don't like infusing.
But I do enjoy the fact that they gave us some upgrade modules at the end of each part of the missions while you're doing the legendary campaign. So you can just
Yeah.
Right.
level up your stuff as you go.
I have a ridiculous amount of enhancement cores. I I won't say how much, but like a ridiculous amount. But I just still, it's not even about I have the money. I just don't want to do it. It's
I'm
like,
kind of the same
It's
way.
homework,
like I
right?
all my
have,
stuff. It's just like an extra step, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna have to just do this all over again in 20 minutes.
right. Yeah,
Um,
but sometimes I felt like it was at times necessary.
Oh yeah,
So I
through the
just had like,
campaign, I just went ahead and did it. I'm glad that they did do those upgrade
Right.
modules because they were like just kind of signaling like you're
yeah,
gonna
during
want
the
to
campaign,
continue
it felt
to
like it
level
was
up.
necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I liked it for that, but I just don't like the continuously like I keep getting like trash drops that I'm supposed to infuse into my gear, but
You will.
it just keeps coming. The
Yeah, I
trash
kind of
drops
slowed
keep
down on
coming.
that one too, right? It's just like, it's almost like, do I really want to? Like, I think I'm just going to hold off because this is going to be obsolete. I'm going to up in power.
Exactly, and it's not always
And-
clear to me what those soft caps and hard caps are.
Right. And how much power is it? Especially once you've gotten to what is that cap, the 1780, where it really slows down.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, so how much do I wait? Do I like infuse it if it's 5 more in that slot, or is it worth it if it's 2 more in that slot? Because it seems like 5 doesn't make that much of a difference.
Or
So-
we could just get rid of the whole infusion system altogether.
Right. And if
No
you
more
just
power.
keep it, like if you just have that weapon, like I think this is one of the, and this is a great segue, I think this is one of the quality of life changes now that they've made. If you have a weapon of that in that slot, when it calculates your power, regardless of where that is, it doesn't have to be on your body, it can be in your vault. They know, okay, you have a primary weapon and it's at 1776, and then they'll know, and then they use that in the calculation of whatever drops you get.
Even then, I think maybe I'm just too casual. I just
Well,
it's like, I don't
you
even
don't
need a
have
power number.
room in your vault to just throw it in your
Yeah.
vault and keep it there either.
Yeah.
So, that's
Okay.
a whole different problem. Yeah, you and Sultime have some hoarding issues that you just need
We
to
do
get
have
through,
hoarding
work your
issues,
way
but we
through.
have to talk about defocus a little bit, pull out and look at the bigger picture. I feel like the quality of life changes that came with Lightfall make it feel almost like a Destiny 3 release. The commendations, the loadouts, the new mod system.
Oh, the commendations, by the way, are still crashing for me.
Yeah, I don't even
Sally
go to
Bug
that
too.
screen
I just
anymore.
don't go to the commendations.
They'll fix
Not worth
it. They'll fix
They'll
it.
They
fix it.
fixed it, and then I clicked it, and it's like, bruh.
Yeah.
No. I don't think it's fully fixed yet. You can still give commendations at the end of
I
an
think the
activity.
commendations will be more refined as we go on. I
Yes.
do really
I
think
think-
it's a great
I think
start. I think it's more like you have to see it as like a beta almost system of the system almost.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Loadouts as
Because
well.
right now there isn't
Mhm.
really an incentive to put that much like thought into how you commend your teammates.
Right.
It's just like,
And that's
just like give them out.
The people that I've watched do it, just like, yep, boom, 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 boom. Just going to give them to, like, they don't look at which one it is and what it says.
It
They
can
don't
be
put a lot of
refined
thought
for sure,
into
but
it.
I think it's a good start.
Yeah, for sure.
And
But they're working
full time that the loadouts, the just QOL in general, how you can view your mods all on one screen is really
mod
helpful.
system and the lack of a
Simplifying the
thin
mod system
armor.
is helpful. I haven't done any like full builds yet, but I like think that I could actually attempt
I hate to
do
redo
that
my
on my
build for
own
Starfire.
Yeah.
with the new
I mean,
system.
the fact I feel more confident with the way it's set up now to be able to say, oh, wait, let me go to a YouTube video and look at a loadout. I feel more confident in
Yeah,
being
there's no
able to,
more
like, pick
affinity on the
something.
armor.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
So
you.
good.
That delivered on
I
its
haven't put
on
a
its
whole
promise, by
lot
the way.
I haven't put a whole lot of energy into like creating loadouts on, but the fact that it's there and when I'm ready to like
Mhm.
'Cause I feel like I'm still just kind of
I think it's more of an end game
learning
thing anyway.
strand and
Right.
putting
Yeah,
And I
things
I'm
wanna-
with you
up.
on that. I
I
haven't
wanna
touched
ask
it
Green
yet, but I
Stego.
Yeah.
still appreciate it.
I wanted to
I feel
ask
like
Green.
it's end game stuff, and it's there for me when I'm ready.
I'd like to ask Green Stego if he's fooled around with or at least looked into the new system of mods on armor enough to determine whether you might be able to venture and create your own loadout instead of just copying one or importing one into DIM or whatever, just from YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that while still Plunder the Booty builds will be prevalent, and I'm curious to keep watching them.
Mm-hmm.
I started with the builds right away.
I guess the question was kind of obtuse. I'm asking, do you think the new system makes it easier to create builds on your own?
Absolutely.
I feel that. I'm starting to feel like I could go in and, start with the exotic that I want to use. Well, start with which subclass, start with which super I want, the fantasy, and then build, go to the exotic. Armor, and then look at what kind of weapons, what do I want to lean into. It just seems like it's more accessible with the new mod system.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
exactly. I mean, like, this, like, one of the first things I did was once I got to like a stopping point in the campaign, was I dived right into
mission 1. He was like messing with the
I was like, hold on, let me
That's awesome.
let me redo my mods.
Yeah.
And the artifact, I know that there's still, it's still a little bit not a perfect system, but the automatic
way
unlocks
better
for me has been a game changer.
And the
'Cause
discounts
I would
are
always forget.
fun, The discounts give us all a little taste of artifice, if you know what I mean. Little discount system where it knocks them down from 3 energy to 1 energy.
How low.
Oh, I love those. I do.
So
I
cool.
love those mods that give you that discount. The synergy ones,
and
right?
Champions are now,
Thank you.
doable.
Yeah, see, this
And
is
they have
Destiny
that
3.
right on your screen. I love that as well, like on your
You can
character
just,
screen.
A little reminder.
Destiny 3 is here.
I haven't needed to put mods on for like a weapon, like for champions, because I just string them up and just kill them.
Yeah, I would like accidentally. Chill Clip can now take care of unstoppables. I think it's like because you can just shatter them.
Yeah, it takes care of overloads and unstoppable. Honestly, both of them.
Amazing.
So, yeah, it is not that we've done a whole lot of stuff with champions yet, but just knowing that you can, what was it somebody could say, it's like if you want to like go all in on solar, you can, and still be able to take down whatever
great.
champions you want to.
It's like what I requested, which was like I want guaranteed ways to take down champions, and they delivered that and then some.
They did.
I like the new mods, like the arc surge and stuff like that. So that way, if you have like an armor, like build, like you have a build, you can pick it up and you just do more damage with whatever weapon you've got on. So if you want solar surge, put a mod in your legs.
Put two of them in there.
Yeah.
Double up.
I just did a new. What's the freaking word? New warlock build with the nades.
The solar?
Starfire build.
Yep.
Right, it's put new mods in.
That's very meta right now.
Yeah, I saw it in the red. I was like,
fusion
what the hell?
I will say, when I've seen a couple tweet pictures from our old chum DMG, which to me kind of point out some some issues with like the meta, where he was showing like his different builds, and all of them on his hunter and his warlock still had 100 resilience.
Yeah.
And his raid completion team was half Starfire Protocol warlocks.
Right.
It's like
there's definitely a meta.
I think
I feel
that
like
they gotta.
Starfire is going to get an ornament when it gets nerfed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I am wondering, what do the raids look like without Well of Radiance?
Yeah, it's kind of where I was gonna go. It's like, gosh, it still felt like and of course I
No
I
spoilers.
watched a couple, but it seems like the Well of Radiance / Divinity builds are still
there.
the ones to go.
Yeah, Well of Radiance is more powerful than Res. Destiny 1 Resurrection.
And
oh, that was so much fun.
I think the group I watched, there were 3 of them, right? That they were trading, or 3 of them trading, so that there was always
it was always active. Making sure you had enough warlocks on the team.
Yeah, we haven't ever had a.
And we do that too when we raid. We always make sure we raid.
Well of Radiance plays a key role, and it just feels kind of stifling for the build, because as a Titan,
it's also, I'd like to just see more creativity in DPS rounds.
Right. I wish there were, and I feel like Strand is a great, like, and maybe as people have more interaction with Strand, they'll be able to figure out ways to use it in a way, but it's the survivability.
Yeah, that's the main thing. It's the damage resistance.
Right. And so it's just finding other ways, either other, like adding other fragments or aspects to other subclasses that give that same level of survivability, so that you're not feeling like this necessary thing. I don't know. It needs to be nerfed, but nerfed in a way where there's other options
choices, right,
to survive.
I agree.
Right. That's kind of where I'm feeling about it.
But yeah,
it is. Yeah. Because I've yet to, like, I can't think of any raid that I've watched or participated in where a Well of Radiance wasn't a key element to it in like the last 3 or 4 that we've done, or 5, or
in a lot of the encounters too, not just some of the encounters.
Since it was introduced, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
It is.
Like, I know that, for instance, Strand, is with its suspend is a great crowd control. So that, like, almost replaces tether. Like, that's a good one to, like, replace tether in terms of crowd control, because you can suspend them and then take them all down. But it doesn't help with boss encounters at all, because you can't suspend a boss, and usually you're fighting them at a distance, and you can't suspend those from a distance. So I don't know. I'm hoping that they'll be creative and find something that will at a level of survivability.
We are nitpicking, but there is definitely a meta going on in PvE.
Yeah. Do you think there'll be a do you think we'll get a 6th subclass in Final Shape?
Potentially. There is some hints. If you look inside the I think it's in the Val raid, there's like a thing on the wall where it shows obviously the subclasses, and there's like 3 darkness ones by the looks of it. I don't know, it could be nothing, but
I think that they would introduce alternate supers on Strand.
Hopefully they'll introduce like Aura can do and just whip out super back to back,
Right, because they I felt like with at least with the 2 new subclasses, they kind of like have broken away from that model, right? That there were
Mhm.
multiple options within a single subclass, and that each subclass has one option, and then you can make different types of builds with it, with the way you interact with the aspects and fragments.
Well,
So
yeah. The solar, I mean, the other ones still have multiple options.
right,
The light
the
subclasses.
original ones, the
Mhm.
original light
I'm just
subclasses
one. I
from
think there's room. I'd expect them to introduce new supers on the existing subclasses,
yeah.
but there's always a possibility for them to
It'd be interesting. It's a
introduce
lot
another
to
one.
ask, and I'm not necessarily saying I want one, as that might actually be super overwhelming for me. But um I just curious.
I want one.
Do you?
I want more.
Want more and more and more. Yeah. So
Less
but,
weapons,
it's-
more of that. More ability.
it's I know,
sweet.
right? There's so many
That's
guns.
kind of the era
and
we're
I
in
just-
right now. There's a lot
Right.
of room for just spamming abilities.
Does anyone did y'all get the machine gun? I forget the name of it. The exotic one.
Oh, the void one?
Yeah.
Not yet.
No, not yet. We still have so much to do.
What's
I
the
would
exotic
recommend
machine gun? What are you talking about?
That mission where you're going backwards through the Garden of Salvation is
Whoa,
It's-
spoiler. No, I'm just kidding.
it's quite good, and there's a lot to the narrative with kind of Nimbus and him working through his feelings about Rohan, which are really great. It's great extrapolation. I highly recommend it for that. Right? For like, I think that was part of the narrative that I really appreciated. So
Yeah, I think there was a lot of
recommend it.
positive sentiment to post game.
I mean, the gun
narrative.
itself it's kind of fun, but it's like, for me, it's like, it doesn't seem to do, like, I'd rather just be using my,
Combine it with that seasonal artifact mod.
what's the name of the gun, the Void?
Retrofit escapade.
Yeah, it with my retrofit escapade, and I've gotten that's all the way up, and with volatile rounds, it's like, well, it already has volatile rounds, and it's not an exotic, so I can put another exotic on.
Fast and loose with the volatile rounds.
Right. And volatile's a little OP.
Yeah. No, there's a definite power creep problem in Destiny, which isn't a problem for a casual like me, because I
No.
like feeling powerful.
And it's fun, and it gives us like some other things. It's just like, I'm super surprised at how much fun I'm having with Strand, including the grapple, because I didn't think I would ever get my head around the grapple and how to use it.
No,
And
I just don't want to take the grapple off.
I know how.
I can't. I'm so obsessed with grapple. I'm
And the
grappling
thing is
everywhere.
that I know I haven't even like scratched the surface of what I can do with it. So I just ready to get back on and play and have fun with it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, are we playing tonight, Sally Bug?
Yes, but I do have to clean the kitchen first.
Oh, yeah. Well, if we
Real
both
life
tackle
has to
it,
go first.
if we both
Do you
tackle
guys
it,
do a void build, and then you unlock the artifact per void weapon channeling? I think that would make every, like, because if you're running void, it's just going to make them so much more OP.
Right.
No, the
There
art.
are a lot of builds out there that
There's so
make the
much.
game way more accessible
yeah.
to. And I love okay. I don't know if I can ever take off this Cryptorachnes
Oh,
facade.
the hunter exotic.
Yes.
The one
And I didn't
It gives
choose
me
that
woven
one.
mail. It gives
I
me
didn't
woven
choose
mail
that
when I
one.
use my grapple.
And now
Well,
I
this
feel
is your
bad that I
problem.
didn't.
This is your problem, Sallybug, because you need woven mail when activating grapple so that you can just grapple into all the enemies and you have,
And
what
you
is
don't
it,
die.
60%?
Yep.
So your
The
other option of
suicide
getting those is the lost sectors, right? That I have to wait till
I
there's
think
legs in the
so.
lost sectors.
Well, it's a helmet.
Oh, it's a helmet. So wait till
Yeah,
there's a
you chose
helmet in the
legs.
lost sectors. But I don't think I'm at the power yet for the legendary lost sectors. So I have to wait
Yeah,
a little
me
bit
neither.
to get them.
Those
We're
legendary lost
also,
sectors
yeah,
were a pain in
there's
the ass.
also parts in the patrol still that I'm getting my ass kicked.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not-
yeah, for sure. Oh gosh, I die over and over again in that.
Like I
What-
said, I
what's-
just go to that
What
party
did you
and we
have
just
you
start spinning
guys?
around.
Did you guys unlock the
Spin
the
round and round.
mission with I forget what it's called. But this whole time you were watching me for a while, and I had you join me because I couldn't do it on my own with the sparrow race.
Oh, that was fun.
The strike?
No, there's a I forget.
There
what
is a
it's
strike
called.
now with that
Richard,
environment.
what's the name of it? That the it's usually in the
Oh, is it partition? I haven't unlocked it
Yes.
yet.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
so
so much
much
fun.
fun.
Oh, that's a lot of
It's
fun.
fun, but like you have to know how to drive.
You need your always on time.
I fell on the sparrow part of when we first did the strike.
Oh gosh, me too.
I was like, oh, well.
Okay, while we're on the topic of metas, can I just bring up that always on time is a problem? Like, there's
the
so
sparrow.
many.
I just
There's so many situations where it makes life so much. It's such an easy button for some of the sparrow stuff. Like in
yeah, I stopped using it because I really liked my other sparrows, and I just try to like pretend it doesn't exist.
yeah, but the problem is it's the
That's
best
only thing you
sparrow.
can
Cost a lot.
The problem with it is it's the best sparrow, and not everybody
It
has
is the
it.
best sparrow. That's why I have to pretend it doesn't exist, because then I would have to use it.
Well, I don't have
You
it.
do have
so-
to use it,
No, I don't use it.
but you
You might want
But you have to.
you have to.
one of you will have to use
Well,
it
you
in
can't
that
say
what we're
you
talking
have to
about.
because you've got somebody like me who doesn't have one. So
Well, get
It's the
some
only
spoils
exotic-
and purchase it.
in the past,
There's
I don't
not a
have.
way to just grapple your way through.
No,
Here's an
it's
idea.
specifically
I
a
have
sparrow
tried
run.
to
Yeah, here's
grapple
an
my
idea,
way after falling on the sparrow, like trying to use the grapple to
It's
save
like-
myself.
It's
and
kind
it
of like
didn't work.
it's kind of like the gauntlet.
Sally, have you
In-
tried, say, Neil using the sparrow always on time, and then you grapple on the back of the sparrow? That shit's fun too.
Now that I should
Oh,
try to do.
That does sound like fun.
SRL is coming back.
It
Yeah.
kind of is in a way. It's a really fun thing. It's a mini version of the gauntlet that was in the Grasp of Avarice. Another example of
Mhm.
needing always on time
Yeah,
to get through
Yeah.
that easy.
and I really
I'll
appreciate.
take
But
it
I
out of my
appreciate.
collections.
They just need to make a few more sparrows
I
that
I
have
heard
the
it was a bug. Like they can't. Did
Yeah.
anyone else hear this myth?
no,
I heard
no.
it too.
Tell me
There's
about
some-
it.
there's
I want to
something
hear about
about-
it.
If they wanted to
There's-
fix it, they'd have to like basically remove the exotic from the game and rebuild it. Is what they said.
What exotic?
Yeah.
The
They'd
always
have to
on
remove
time?
the sparrow from the game in order to, yeah, because it's got bugs, so they'd have to basically disable it to
Oh
basically
my
rebuild it
God.
from scratch.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't,
that
I don't
sucks.
know what it is, but they can't.
There's something
something about.
complicated with it that they can't just
Mhm.
snap their fingers and make all of the sparrows go that fast, because that was a big request.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's
I
a
don't
shame.
know I don't know the behind the curtains on it.
I think that who was it? I think it was Azzacross actually was saying, well, if you can't fix that, could you just do transmog on it so that I could have a different look?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
funny.
Yeah.
I think it's either that or
I mean,
dismantle it, like remove it from the game, and
Yeah.
refund. Give everybody who has it spoils equal to its
No.
purchase.
I'm already maxed, and I want any more.
And
Yeah,
right
well,
now-
some of us don't even have enough spoils to go and get the stupid sparrows.
You'll spend your spoils when we start doing the new raid, and you need to craft.
I don't know. I still want
Well, that's the problem.
weapons from
See, it's like we
Deep Stone.
have like I want to get this. I want to get always on time, but now we're gonna be like doing the new raid, and when we do the new raid, I'm gonna want the new stuff, so I'm gonna be spending my spoils on that. So I think that's why I don't.
You don't have it. That's where the problem is.
I don't have the spoils to get always on time now because
That recalls a lot of raids. Got it.
during Witch Queen I spent most of them on when we were doing Vow
Yeah.
and getting the
Spoils for the spoiled.
Richard, do you know anybody with the Daughters of Oryx checkpoint?
Farm for the spoils.
But I could probably get one.
all right.
All right. I think we need to start wrapping up. But before we do, just a quick check-in on the new seasonal content, of which I have not done anything on the season.
Except for the initial
I haven't
one
seen
because they
anything.
had us do it, right?
Just the initial mission that everybody does, right?
Well, do this week's mission. Get caught up. The story is great.
Oh, is it good? Okay.
It's great.
I've heard it's really
All right.
good.
Unfortunately,
so-
I can't allow you to do any spoilers here because we haven't done
no
it.
spoilers here. We have not.
No,
We've done that initial mission.
I've
but
enjoyed it so far. It's
Okay. All right. Cool.
the one,
a lot of fun.
I mean, it
one
had.
we did. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed.
Yeah, it
the,
was fun. It was fun.
Activity.
The
quite a bit.
initial
So-
thing, the initial activity.
It
Also,
was, I mean, the spoiler. Have you been to the farm?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's even more a mess
Being
now.
the football pitch.
It's
in
even
such
more of a
state.
tip.
Yeah, it's worse.
That was
Yeah, the
what I
soccer
said.
field's gone.
The first thing-
Got bombarded.
No, seriously.
Ruined.
Oh, I almost cried.
Exactly.
I saw a chair knocked over.
I almost cried. No more
I was
soccer
like,
field.
I was just like, all right, let's go see this mess again. Why is it even worse?
The farm can't catch a break.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, poor farm.
Farm.
I feel like
but yeah,
Mara would like
Junkyard
have like
story.
could just like spread like some magic
Oh, and-
over it and like make it like look all
Like the Dreaming City.
as far
Dreaming
as I
City
can tell,
pretty.
they really limited the grind on this season. It's way less grindy. I already have a
good.
lot of
That's good news.
because without trying, we've unlocked like the entire first row, which there's only 3,
Mhm.
and there's
Oh,
just,
wow.
like there's less
Wow.
unlocks on the grid. There's just is there even red frames?
Yeah.
Okay, but I haven't unlocked that yet.
Mm.
But anyways, it just seems the new Defiant key system is way better than the current C system. No more Umbral engrams.
Yeah, that's
I like-
nice.
I
A
do
lot
like
of
that's
QOL
another
on that
quality of
front
life
as well.
change.
Another
Yeah.
Destiny 3 QOL.
Yeah.
And the weapon aesthetic for the seasonal weapons is just sublime. I love the
Oh.
Neo
Oh,
Luna weapons.
awesome.
All right.
I love the Season of
Dreaming
Defiance
City.
weapons.
Well, this is
I love the raid
Dreaming
weapons.
City, Queen's Guard weapons.
honestly,
Oh,
this is
well.
just making me want to help Sallybug
You-
finish
you
cleaning
wanna-
the kitchen, and then get
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, the cats help too.
Yeah, put those cats to work.
Yeah, get those K.
Yeah, right.
You start keeping.
That's not in their vocabulary. They keep the
Just
rodents out of the
get
house
their
though.
little tiny tongues out to like wash my floor.
Ew.
No, ew.
No, you just have to like
Whoa.
dip them in soapy water and make them like eat them up.
Use
and,
them like a mop?
the floor.
Wow. Okay, so this is like full Looney Tunes now.
Yeah.
Right. Not to mention that that's like totally torturing your cats.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay, we are going to close out with you know what it's called. It's called
Non-Destiny Media Consumption.
the non-Destiny media consumption. And I'm going first because I'm the only one who put anything in the show notes. And I started playing Assassin's Creed Origins. I finally wrapped up my time for the time being with AC Valhalla. I've done everything except for the Ragnarok expansion. Every achievement, everything you could possibly find in the
Oh,
game.
you're going to enjoy it. That's what I'm saying.
AC Origins is great. It's so comfortable going back a couple games from AC Valhalla, and it is just very comfortable, and it is gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's ancient Egypt, and I've already raided my first tomb, and it's just the best. It's like Assassin's Creed heaven. So that's what I've been
Seems
doing,
good.
other than Destiny.
I wasn't expecting you to say I raided my first team because, like, hearing that, like, if you didn't say that about a game and you just said it real life, it's just funny.
Oh yeah, a Tomb Raider. You're a Tomb Raider in Origins for sure.
I want a new game of that. I need a new Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider is great. I have great memories of the old original PlayStation Tomb Raider.
I've still got the other two games, like, obviously, Xbox, this one.
Richard, what have you been doing outside of Destiny? Still playing Far Cry?
The game moves too slow for me. The movement's sluggish.
A cutting review.
Nah, I just been bouncing from like playing Call of Duty with Jerome, Pelham, and Nicholas and Logan.
Yeah.
To bounce back to this, just going back and forth.
Back and forth. Hey, but I heard that you guys did some paintball. Well, not Pelham, but
yes. I got shot in the foot by Logan point blank. It was not fun. I mean, it was fun, but that was before it even began. Like, we were in the waiting bit. It was checking if the safety was on, so we just shot and hit me straight in the foot. And my shoe was not like had a bit of like, yeah, it was like it was fabric, so I felt that like straight up.
Ouch, man.
The pain went after a while, so I was just like, yeah. All right. Then I got shot in the head.
Who shot you in the head?
One of Drum's friends. Like, he just shot it randomly. It just hit the top of my head. I had my hood up, so obviously he didn't get my hair. It just hit me straight in the head, and I was just like, ow.
Did you get any shots in?
Yeah, unfortunately not on Drum though. He was like, we were on the same team, and I was just like, do I shoot him? Because he was looking at the other people. Like, he was looking out, like, because it was like this wooden window type shit.
Yeah.
And he was looking out of it. And I was just like, Logan, do you think I should get him?
Oh my gosh.
But everyone else ran out of paintballs by the end, apart from me and this other person.
Sounds like fun, though. And it's like real life video game, getting outside, doing it in real life. Stego, what you been going on about?
Last night we watched a movie. It's the recent release, recent movie, Lupin the Third: the First.
I thought you were about to say that 65 movie. I was like, no, I want to watch that.
Wow, I still think I have my Lupin the Third DVDs, the original anime. That was one I really got into.
This one is it's got like a CG style graphic. It's like 3D.
Is it kind of the same character as the original?
Yeah, absolutely. They nailed it. It is a really fun adaptation.
Yeah.
And that's on Hulu, right?
The only other Lupin the Third I've seen is the Castle of Cagliostro, the film.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Amazing film.
Which was amazing. And this one just like instantly the thief's charm reads through. The other characters are just immediately incredibly stylized and recognizable. It's just great.
I'm seeing now it was written by Monkey Punch, who is the original manga artist of Lupin.
Oh,
that's pretty cool.
Wow.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It ended with a note from Monkey Punch specifically saying Monkey Punch wants to send Lupin on more adventures.
Aw. That's
so
cool.
It seems like
that's so cool.
Seems like there's going to be more movies.
Nice.
And I really highly recommend this one.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, pass that along to the anime fans over there, Richard and Pelham. I know. Does Pelham still watch a lot of anime?
They do have an English. Oh well, I don't know what they have for UK, but they did have an English dub. But we watched the subs.
I do not watch English dub. I'm impatient. I need the newest episode ASAP.
Wow. Romance Girl. What have you been up to besides
I
Lupin
had a
the
lot
Third?
of fun this week playing the Gunk on Xbox Game Pass. I actually just started it up because I needed some achievements for Xbox rewards, but the game immediately drew me in,
Oh, cool.
and I decided to
Mission
finish it. And
accomplished.
it was actually a pretty short campaign, and not like I say that as a compliment. Like it was just doable. I finished it in a week of playing a
Nice.
few evenings, and I would say it was my initial reaction was, oh, this is like Luigi's Mansion meets No Man's Sky, and it is kind of like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which is
You
a
should
big
get Luigi's
compliment. I
Mansion as the
love
next game, to
Luigi's
be honest.
Mansion 3, and No Man's Sky is of course beautiful.
Well,
But
you
yeah,
just gave me more
you're
incentive to get Luigi's Mansion now.
oh yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3 on Switch is just all-time fun
Yeah,
play.
S tier.
Yes. But so yeah, you're going around and vacuuming up this gunk that has taken over, and when you finish clearing an area, like the life on this planet, this alien planet you've landed on, like sprouts back, and you've like just kind of
Oh, that sounds
cleared
satisfying.
this gunk that is suffocating the planet. Yeah, it's just very satisfying. It was just instantly like, okay,
Yeah.
this is just a very like relaxing experience. And you can also scan different plant life and collect different materials to upgrade your scanner and your vacuum arm. And I just had fun going through and vacuuming up the gunk. There's
Nice.
also a few like little puzzles that are just pretty simple. I only got stuck a couple times, and
Half the time that was because it was bugging out.
yeah. But it was actually mostly a smooth play though. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. I highly
Cool.
recommend it, and just beautiful environments.
And lastly, Sally Bug, what have you been up to in the past? It's been about over a month since we put one of these out.
I don't know if I can think back that far. I mean, outside of like Destiny, like over the last couple of weeks, like it's been primarily
the only
Destiny.
thing that we don't want you to list.
Soul Time, you showed me that little Bejeweled type game.
Oh
through
gosh,
the
it's the Xbox app. Has anybody else
that I got
played that?
obsessed with.
The Jewel game.
Bejeweled 2?
It's I
No.
think it's called Jewel, but it's like the match 3.
Is it Jewel?
Yeah.
Match 4, 5,
I do it
whatever.
You
I
do it for
like
points.
A level
Yeah.
a day for the points.
You do a level a
Yeah.
day for the points, right? And speaking of which, I just got my first 10,000 points, so I will be getting a $10 gift card.
Nice.
Wow.
So it's something I
Yeah,
had
you
never
can
done.
sign up-
Never
you can
bothered
act-
with it. Never bothered
Yeah, you
with
can
it.
sign up for autoplay. I mean, an auto. I make enough so that I, not to brag, but I have it so I can get a $10 gift card every month, and
Ooh, I
get a
could barely
little
get a
discount.
£5 gift card, let alone a freaking
Yeah,
10.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna use it on silver. I don't treat myself enough to silver.
Oh,
Mhm.
that would be fun.
Choice.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a fun thing.
My brighter seems to
Yeah.
be going up because I have
Yeah.
no idea if I like any of the new exotics this season for Eververse.
I mean, I just don't spend a whole lot of time on other things outside like I just have like real life. I zone out on the couch and either watch Soul Time play his games or occasionally will watch some YouTube videos. And
Empires and Puzzles, which you're still.
Empires and Puzzles, which are still going strong. And I do my Wordle. Try to get to that every day.
Yeah, I send
Wordle.
Green Stego my Wordle score every day, even though he doesn't play. Just I have someone to send it to.
I mean, I don't send it to anybody. I just do it. And like I was like on a pretty long streak, and then I got sick and missed it. And I'm like, okay, that now I've like busted my streak. So now I don't like get to it like absolutely every day, but I try. I try to remember it. It's kind of fun. And I like the spelling bee as well. So
I haven't tried spelling bee. I'll have to give it a go.
I mean, spelling bee is kind of fun. If you like to like unscramble letters to make words, that kind of thing. And yeah, they like the challenge is there's one key letter that has to be in the words. And
We have some restless cats on our end.
Yeah, let's wrap
Alrighty.
this up. We've
it's time to
got
go.
some washing up to do before getting on
Time to
Destiny
finish up.
tonight. So I am going to call it. This has been episode 67 of the Paracasual Destiny podcast. And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank Richard for popping in and hanging out with us. And of course, old Sally Bug and Green Stego and Romance Girl. You can join us live on YouTube.
Colorado.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Forgot about him.
Well, I found out the other day that is the voice of our ghost is the same voice of that guy.
Oh wow.
Well,
Well,
North, he does so many voices.
Yeah, it does.
anyways, hit all the buttons on YouTube, Twitter, and until next time, it's goodbye from all of us here at the Paracasual Destiny podcast. Keep pushing back the darkness, for goodness sake.
No. I was trying to consume it.
Or
You rebel,
absorb
you.
it. Whatever works for you.
Look within and find the darkness in your own heart, Guardians.
Yikes.
Oh,
Goodbye,
that's dark.
everybody. Bye.
Good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right.
Nibby's being cute.